Not long ago I tried an experiment, recording a song on old tape machines to see if I could capture that 60s sound I've always loved. The song turned out better than I expected, so I decided to make a whole 60s album that way, and show you the process in a series of videos here on YouTube. The album's going to be called This Is a Time Machine, and really that's what it feels like. Every time I hit record, I'm aiming for that 60s character using the machines I've got today to chase the feeling of those old records I love. Of course, other influences from more recent decades inevitably slip in too. It's not about copying the past, but finding where that sound fits naturally with where I am now. Over the last few months, I've been sketching little ideas, some guitar riffs, a few vocal melodies, and bits of tape experiments just to get a sense of the direction of the album. I'm not trying to recreate any specific band, it's more like a collection of songs you might hear on those old Nugget compilations. Slightly psychedelic, a bit lo-fi, and made with whatever gear happens to be in the room. The song I'm recording today is called The Morning Papers, and it leans into the British pop side of the 60s. Melodic, reflective, but still rough around the edges. For this session, I'm going to be using my Tascam 246. It's a 4-track cassette recorder, which means I have to work within limits. I can bounce tracks if I need more space, but each bounce adds noise, saturation, and a bit of unpredictability. I'll start with a simple drum track, recorded with one overhead mic and a mic on the kick drum. On cassette, drums tend to soften in quite a nice way, so keeping the setup minimal works well. Bass goes in next. A clean DI rolled off at the top and driven into the tape a little bit harder than usual. The rhythm track on this is going to be using the Gibson ES125, and tambourine helps fill out the rhythm section, very typical of mid-60s pop. Let's have a listen to how things are sounding at the moment then. So we've got drums on 1, tambourine on 2, guitar on 3 and bass on 4. Let's take them up one at a time. There's the bass, guitar, tambourine, pretty basic of course, and the drums there. Let's bring everything back in again. Right, on to the next stage. Now that the 4 tracks are all full, I'll mix the drums, bass, rhythm guitar and tambourine to the Revox A77. Then record that reduction mix back onto a fresh section of tape on the Tascam. This mirrors how many 60s 4-track sessions work: commit early, reduce and build up again. Now that I've got track 1 holding the reduction mix, I have tracks 2, 3 and 4 free. I'll lay down the vocals next, backing vocals and then the main vocals. I'll bounce the backing parts together onto track 1 and keep the main vocals separate on 3. Once that's done, track 2 can be wiped and I'll overdub a lead guitar part to fill out the arrangement. Okay, everything's done on tape, so let's have a listen. The morning papers drop. So the whole backing band is bounced together on track 1, so that's locked in and effectively finished. 2, we've got the lead guitar. 3, we've got the main vocals, and the merged backing vocals are on 4. What we're going to do now then is just have a listen to the effects sends on the vocals here. If I told you all the things I've got a tape delay hooked up to the main Vox. You can see across the side here, we've got it on the shorter setting. The ink is barely dry. Let's adjust the speed control a touch. That makes the delay time a bit longer. I'll swap onto the second head to see how that sounds. The mirrors of the sky, if you could only live. Now that sounds a bit more 70s to me, so I think the shorter one works better for this song. So let's pop that back on again. Days I've lived, I'll try that again. It was a sign, the headlines never change. Yeah, that short slapback setting seems to work pretty well for this kind of style. I want to have a different feel to the backing vocals, so they're running through a spring reverb. So I've listened to that now. Only live the days I've lived, you know it was a sign, the headlines never change, the names just rearrange in the morning paper. A lower blend probably works better. Okay, that sounds alright for the moment, let's move on. For this album, I'll be using my Revox A77 for the master and running it at 15 inches per second to keep the quality as high as possible, which will help the analog mastering stage later on. Right, here's a short section of the finished mix, just enough to give you an idea where it's going to end up. The morning Alright, there's the first half of the morning papers recorded on the Tascam 246. In the next episode, I'll be taking things in a slightly more psychedelic direction, exploring some of the studio tricks that helped to shape the mid-60s records. Thanks for watching, and if you're curious how this album's going to develop, I'll see you in the next episode.